Hi everybody, Kat here. Welcome to my channel. Well, in this age of energy and financial crisis, woke madness washing over the world, the poverty safari is no longer effective. Now, what might you say is the poverty safari? Well, a poverty safari is every time a royal leaves the palace to enter into the dark underbelly of what is everyday people, everyday society. Every time they mingle with real people, such as the other day when Prince William and Princess Catherine were at the food bank uh, packaging up food parcels for people they were never going to meet. It was deemed a security issue. They couldn't actually meet the homeless, hungry, cold people that they were there to help, because everybody knows that hungry, cold, homeless people are a lot more dangerous than the warm ones. So, you know, they just went in, they filled a few bags, and I heard a journalist on YouTube say, gee, it's kind of hard. They're damned if they do, and they're damned if they don't. If they'd shown up at the food bank with a few bags of, canned goods from their local supermarket, that might have looked a little condescending. Like, here you are, you're the billionaire prince of the realm, and you show up with, $30 worth of tin peaches for like, who the hell are you? If they show up with nothing, it's like, what? You're here for a photo op. Fill a few bags and you leave, and it doesn't make any difference to your day, and you're not even out of pocket 20, $30. So they're damned if they do, and they're damned if they don't. But this is what they're kind of. It was the Queen Mother that really, when this change in how the monarchy did things really started during the war, during the Blitz. She was seen out on the streets of London with the public. And she said once, when I think it was Windsor Castle that was bombed, she said, I'm glad at or Buckingham Palace. I can't remember exactly which castle. But she said, I'm glad the castle was bombed because now I can look people from the East End in the eye. The people of the East End of London that was like just leveled. Anyway, she was out and amongst the people during these dire times, and that really started this program of what I call poverty safari. It was very big during Diana's days. She was the next one to really do it. The Queen was reserved, much more reserved, and it wasn't again till Diana came along, and we saw her with the sick and the hungry and the homeless, and she was always at this shelter or that shelter. When the boys, the princes, were little, she started to bring them along to homeless shelters and drop-in centers and these kinds of places, so that they would get an idea of what was really going on in 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 the country, in the world. That not everybody lived in a palace and this kind of thing, and not everybody liked to, and we gotta go, this is what we have to do. But it's not working anymore, and especially one reason why is because Charles and down the line William and Kate have really adopted the whole woke agenda and the woke culture, and eventually that's going to backfire on them. you know Charles comes out and talks about the scourge of fast fashion, and how his foundation is helping a clothing design company create sustainable things, and they'll say, oh well, look at the trench coat he's wearing. He's had that for 50 years. He's had it for 50. It's $1,000 coat, but he's had it for 50 years. Look at the sweater he's wearing. $900 wool sweater from the chin of rare merino, chin hairs of rare merino sheep, whatever the hell. And they do the same thing with Kate. Oh, here she is in her $1,000 blazer, but she's recycled it. Look at her, she's recycling $1,000 blazer. That's what they do. I mean, if Kate wears something twice in a decade, she's recycling. No, it's that piece of clothing has been archived and held in a temperature-proof closet, which is, manned by her chief dresser that puts it, she doesn't recycle. Kate's not going to the charity shop or the secondhand store for her blue jeans. And she's not taking her hand-me-downs there either. Recycling. And people eat this up, but one of these days they're going to say, look, I can't afford to eat, I can't heat my house, I don't have a job, I can't afford a car, I live in a little tiny box of a plant. She's going around in a $10,000 skirt, and I'm supposed to feel good about this. The Wokies are going to start to see they'll start to see through things. Recently, we had the king talking about his wind farm scheme in Cornwall, off the coast of Cornwall. Now, what's there already? The wind farm that's already operating, that he's already seeing profits from. That's a publicly funded program. I mean, the money for the wind farms came out of the public purse, which means people's taxes, so they're already paying for it. Now, what Charles has come out and done is said he wants to expand the wind farm, put far more wind farm up there to the point where he's going to be able to heat, 5 million homes or something with the energy this all produces. And right now, from this publicly funded scheme, he gets 25% of the profits off the top. He said no, what he wants to do is give this money back to the people, so he's not going to take 25%. But what we don't know is he going to take 24% or is he going to take 2%? How much is he going to give back? And then there's the problem of how you actually distribute any funds. It's never going to work. People aren't going to see the money. And even if they did get something back, the expansion of this whole wind farm scheme, that all comes out of the public purse. That's all public money. That's your taxes. So he's, again, what he's done in the past with other things, his little pet projects somehow get funded by you. And he's just raking in the money that he doesn't have to pay tax on. He doesn't have to, the royal family is exempt from all kinds of these things. And, his latest scheme that I read about is at Highgrove House for the winter to help, we've got a cost of living crisis. People can't heat their homes. Old age pensioners are lonely. Old and lonely, sitting alone. They have no companionship, no food, no heat. What are they going to do? Well, Charles has opened a couple of tea rooms at Highgrove House so that locals can come. He's calling it a warming center. They can come and have hot soup and a cup of tea and get warm and play a game of bridge and have some conversation and companionship. Sounds like he's, started up his own drop in center for cold and lonely locals. Sounds very admirable. But you have to book the tickets online, which most old age pensioners wouldn't do. You need transportation out to Highgrove. It's on the edge of a little village, which is not a poverty-stricken village. Where are these homeless hordes that he's feeding and keeping warm coming from? Nah. The tickets may be free to go have a cup of tea in his tea room, but it's all part of the tour, and you got to book online, and you got to show up, and it's been so successful that from January through the end of March, this season this program is running, every slot is booked up. This isn't a homeless heating drop-in center, warming center, have a hot lunch. Nah, he's opened a tea room to the public. That's all he's done. But he's just put a little bit of a woke spin on it. It sounds good in paper, but it doesn't make any bloody impact at all to anyone except for the profits coming to Highgrove House. Kate can recycle as many Alexander McQueen skirts as she wants, but eventually people are going to start to see that, well, she's got so many clothes that she can wear that $7,000 jacket once a decade, and we're supposed to applaud her for that. At some point, as even the wokies can't deny that they're suffering any longer, this woke agenda that the royals have adopted, along with the poverty safaris that they engage in, is really going to hurt their image. And they're really, really going to have to change the way they operate to maintain their importance in society. Just my thoughts and opinions, everybody. Have a great day. I'd love to hear what you think. Leave me a comment, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.